It was the Charlie Motorbike Cameron show at Manuka Oval in Canberra. Career high 7 goals, and we're going to break them down as we do. Firstly, Bailey with the fend to thump it to the one-on-one with Cameron, outmarking Iden to allow him to line up for his first of the game. Brilliant work to get it into the hands of Cameron in the first place by the Lions after some unclean play by the Giants, and the kick inside 50 was a floaty knuckle ball which fortunately favoured Charlie playing in front. His next goal came from a roving Gunston, which you rarely see, who puts it in a chaotic position for the Giants defenders. Charlie gets to the front of Cumming, allows for the bounce, and uses a deft touch similar to football and or soccer with his foot to angle the ball goalward and score. He knew that Gunston would have to do an around the body kick with a potential smother on, so Charlie charges to take front position, allows for the bounce, which if you've played the sport, the ball can either keep dribbling or pop up after a sideways kick like that. Then he jumps at the ball, sticking his right foot out to make contact with the side of his boot, knowing the direction the ball is heading. If you tap it in a direction, it will continue if there is enough pace. This is the same idea in cricket when guiding a ball to third man, except in AFL, much more uncommon, and why it is such a classy and well thought through goal. If he didn't know what he was doing, then this celebration would have been more of a wow factor rather than a subtle double fist and high fives. Danaher takes a spectacular mark and pumps one down towards the 50, getting it in there fast so the forward line isn't congested. Smart thinking. This allows Cameron to get out over the back and pop through his third of the game, and with it comes the motorbike celebration. Another one coming from a deep entry inside 50, which if you had this man on your team would be the only thing you would consider, since he can run laps on most of the players on the ground. A lot of their entries coming off of poor tackling by the Giants, but even better fending and strength by the Lions, in turn winning one-on-one contests, which makes it hard for the Giants to defend. Around the body set shot goals are almost a certainty these days.
Result in the drop punt. You know he's going to run around.
His fifth came with a little umpiring help. Now Canelio has time to dispose of the ball, and I'm not going to lie, he definitely did have prior opportunity as defined by the rulebook. However, he breaks Charlie's tackle and is still standing with the ball afterwards. Only when Cameron knocks the ball out of Canelio's hand is this paid holding the ball, prior opportunity. As Charlie goes to ground, you can see his hand slap the ball out of Canelio's hand, which 1,000,000 times out of 10 is usually paid as knocked out play on. So here I am searching through the AFL rulebook, as I have done many a time in the creation of these videos, to use as evidence when conferring to the gameplay. So for those that don't know, a legal tackle is a tackle by a player where the player being tackled is in possession of the football and the player is tackled below the shoulders and above the knees. For avoidance of doubt, a legal tackle may be executed by holding either by the body or playing uniform, a player from the front, side or behind, provided that a player held from behind is not pushed in the back. So we know that Canelio was being tackled, but Cameron stops tackling as he's on the ground, which now removes all the rules about tackling because Canelio shrugged off the tackle. And I know that's a lot of tackles, but it does make sense. Then Charlie's hand comes in and slaps the ball out of Canelio's hand while he was not being tackled, which apparently is holding the ball even though he was not being tackled. It's quite interesting the way the umpires view the rules, and again, it's a lot to think about in a fast-paced game, but I believe the umpires got this one wrong as the ball was knocked clear of Canelio's hands as there was no tackle laid. Rayner now with an entry kick inside forward 50, and who else would you kick it to? Even without front position, Cameron can do no wrong in this game. No defender near him, which allowed the jump at the ball, and takes a mark, and Haynes just has to throw a fist in desperation. Around the body for his sixth, took his time to get settled and allowed space to be given by the umpires, which is important as we've seen a lot of players rush these kicks and end up still in play on the 50 line or out of bounds on the full. We've got a couple of missed calls in amongst Charlie's final record-breaking 7th goal. Firstly, Whitfield under some heat in the defensive 50 throws the ball in the air, and even if it's an accident or a misjudgment, it's still a throw. It doesn't need to be at a teammate. A throw is a throw, and that's a missed call. It gets banged around a little until Ash ends up with it and is dispossessed, which could be deemed as holding the ball incorrect disposal. To then Zorko being held without the ball, though he did put a little bit of mayo on top, which is never a good look. The ball spits out to Cameron, who breaks off a tackle and around the body goal, the celebration ticking off the goals on his hand, unbelievable. As I mentioned in a previous video, he is definitely in my top 5 small forwards. He did have a chance to go on to kick 8 or 9 goals, and in time I'm sure he'll have another opportunity to break his record again. PlayOnAFL, things do better with fun and laughter.